You racists gotta step your game up. This is tragic. Welcome to Racist of the Week, where we expose the stupidity and hypocrisy of discrimination in hopes we can build a more perfect union. And also laugh. As usual, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Racism. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the page, and definitely leave me any possible suggestions for nominees in the comments. Our first nominee, Indiana State University nursing student, Asa Blanton. Now, as many of you already know, Beyonce released her country album, Cowboy Carter, and beyond the sales, streams, and records broken, she caused racists to lose their absolute mind. I mean, I gotta ask, is this how we react to Eminem and Paul Wall? Cause I kinda like Eminem and Paul Wall. I'll be honest. I mean, I can see people wilding out to Bubba Sparks, maybe, or Everlast, or Yellow Wolf. Actually, I kind of like Yellow Wolf too. Something about that box Chevy. Meet Asa Blanton, feeling cold and alone, keeping all that hate bottled up inside. She just had to let her true feelings be known.
I'm sorry, but if you're black, you're not country. I don't care. And I wish I meant that in the nicest way. But babe, I know you were raised in the country, or your grandparents were, I guess, your great granny and grandpas, but they was picking, okay? They wasn't planting. Just keep that in mind. They wasn't making money. They was getting sold for money. You ain't country. It pisses me off more. Why are you wearing boots and a motherfucking jeans and a cutoff to a frat party? Huh? No.
Oh, where to start with this one? Now, first of all, some of the most country people I know are black. I mean, I got family in the Carolinas that cooks pancakes for breakfast with little bits of pig feet in them. I mean, I had a cousin who used a lasso for a belt, and I was the only one at Walker Mill Middle School in junior high who knew what fixin' to and frenna meant. But none of what you said had to do with actually being country. It was just being white. Like, what exactly is your definition of country? Like, when you go to the Country Music Awards, you just think it's just the white music awards? You feel like all the pop acts and all the white rock acts and all the white rap acts should be there too? That you didn't find that odd? That wasn't weird to you? And also, it was a whole lot of white people that weren't making money either. Do they get to be country? Do poor white people get to be country? Asking for a lot of the country. And what I find most fascinating, what did it take for all this racism to come bubbling up to the surface and exploding out of her mouth like diarrhea? Like what exactly did it take for it? I mean, did she lose a job to a black person? Did black people put hands and feet on her? Did they wrong her mama? Did her man get taken by a black woman? All it took for all of this to come out was a black country album. Like, that's it. That is all it took for her to go full racist. What have you been doing the last few years while Lil Nas X been running around? He was at the Country Music Awards. How has that been like for you? Where were you during the Darius Rucker era? What do you do when Jimmy Allen and Kane Brown and Mickey Guyton and Brittany Spencer come on? It must be hell for you even listening to country music. Then she got to that part about the frat party section. That part was weird. I mean, it actually gave me a little bit of an insight into how this came to be, because she comes off like the lonely outcast that just saw herself jumped in line to hang with the cool kids by the black people who just showed up. We've seen that happen many times. The fact that she's a nursing student actually trumps that all it took was a country album to bring all this bubbling to the surface. That absolutely is the most disturbing part of all of this, because we've heard a lot about racial inequities in our healthcare system, how Black women have been treated, how Black babies have been treated. And it's been going on for decades. And these are the kinds of people that are entrusted to deal with Black patients, the kinds of people that have this just bubbling underneath the surface. And all it takes is Cowboy Carter to bring it out. She had the good judgment to throw all that away because she just had to go racist on Cowboy Carter. That's somebody who could have been taking care of your mom or my grandma. By the way, the fact that I mentioned Indiana State University was intentional because they haven't seen fit to right this wrong. There is a petition to have her removed from the Indiana State nursing program. I wouldn't promote doing such a thing. The link will be in the description of this video. Now, she's actually in very good company this week as our second nominee for Racist of the Week, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Now, during the legendary Women's March Madness, shout out to the ladies because y'all killed it. But the University of Utah's women's basketball team was repeatedly subjected to racial harassment. School officials said a driver pulled up by them, revved their engine, and yelled the N-word. Then later the same night, 2 trucks approached them and the drivers yelled the N-word again. This all happened while they were merely going for dinner before one of their games. Here's their coach, Lynn Roberts, addressing the incident.
You know, we had several instances of some kind of racial hate crimes towards our program, and incredibly upsetting for all of us. And, you know, you think in our worlds, that, you know, in athletics and in university settings, it's shocking. You know, like there's so much diversity on a college campus, and so you're just not exposed to that very often. And so when you are, it's like, you know, and you have people say, man, I can't believe that happened. But, you know, racism is real.
Now, Coeur d'Alene has a long history with hate groups in the area, but it was chosen because the hotel near the tournament was full, and also because they assumed civilization had hit it already. I don't think that's too much to ask, but apparently it was. Hey, Coeur d'Alene, let me holler at you for a second. No, let me holler at you. It's only gonna take a second. See, if they would have said we can't keep the team here because y'all are too racist, if they would have intentionally avoided keeping any of the teams by Coeur d'Alene because of y'all history with hate groups, y'all would have been mad, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? You would have been mad. How dare they say that about us? We're just people. You would have been mad if they avoided you because y'all were too racist. Now look how y'all act. I mean, honestly, you think anybody wanted to come to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho? You think anybody wanted to come out here? They just came out here to bring y'all some good old fashioned entertainment, to give y'all a break from cow tipping and hay bale fights and shoe shuffling. And I don't know what y'all do out there. They wanted to give y'all a break and show y'all some women's basketball. And this is how y'all act. They even tried to help you out. They didn't give you South Carolina. They didn't give you USC. They gave you Utah. They gave you Utah. They gave you sugar in your medicine. And even still then, you couldn't help but go and end bombs. Now, local authorities are now investigating the incident. And to that I say, if a place with a long history of hate groups has that happen on a random night twice, good luck finding the guilty parties. Because it doesn't sound like the overt racists will stand out in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. My last nominee, the United Kingdom. Both the Jamie Lloyd Company and the Duke of York Theatre shared a statement of support for actress Francesca Amewudah-Rivers after she and the theater have been flooded with racist online abuse after she committed the crime of landing the role of Juliet alongside Tom Holland as Romeo. Now, to those of you racist trolls, out here sending all this nasty stuff. Have y'all seen Romeo and Juliet? I'm just asking, like, have you seen Romeo and Juliet? Nothing about Romeo and Juliet makes you think that interracial casting might have been okay. I mean, a love story about two people from clans that don't get along because they're so different. None of that struck you as it might land with having a black woman play Juliet? Nothing? Because you are so used to white people playing everybody, you just forgot the plot of Romeo and Juliet and how suited it is to have a black woman play Juliet or a black man play Romeo, whatever the case may be. Now, I find it fascinating. These trolls didn't even have the wherewithal to hide the reason for their objection. They didn't say that she was too tall. They didn't say she wasn't good enough. They didn't talk about her singing. No, they went straight for looks. I mean, straight for looks. I mean, UK racism is barbaric because you are coming with 19th century racism in 2024. You are actually arguing that you don't want the best person for the job. She has to look a certain way. And to that, I'm gonna need you to pick up your phone and call your cousins over here, the US racists, and y'all need to figure this out. Talk about a mess. Congratulations to Asa Bland and Idaho State University. Yes, you are here until further notice. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and the UK Trolls. If you got somebody you would like to nominate, go ahead and leave it in the comments. You can email me at reese.waters@gmail.com and be sure to subscribe to the page and make sure you get notified when the next video drops.